Good morning and welcome to the Bitter Knitters podcast. It is Monday, November 6th, 2017. My name is Jacqueline. Arthur's here with me.
Hey,
How you doing this morning?
I am so tired.
Really? I actually feel really refreshed. Maybe that hour actually helped. Or maybe it was the 2 naps I had yesterday.
Probably. I have this problem on Sundays where I stay up till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning watching fucking nature documentaries, and it's a bad fucking scene for me.
What's hysterical is a lot of people would watch a nature documentary to fall asleep.
Yeah.
But you
No,
can't.
I'm into it. I'm so into it.
Yeah. Last night I laid in bed. I went to bed at about 2 o'clock and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put on something on Netflix to fall asleep. And I was like, oh, let me see what they have under the musicals list, right?
Yeah.
And I spent about 5 minutes looking at all the different musicals, and then I just went to bed. I didn't turn anything on. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll watch that tomorrow.
I didn't even know that's a category they have.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of Bollywood stuff there, which is not really my type of thing. But they have a few. I mean, they have Footloose, they have Grease, they have Shrek the Musical Live on there and stuff. So some different stuff.
I've watched a few Bollywood movies. Those things are fucking amazing. Like, they are absolutely
fucking... You cannot deny the talent. The dancing and the singing and stuff is, like, sick.
It's the extravagance. Like, their fight scenes are just, they're so over the top. Like, you can tell they do it to be cheesy, but it's just so perfectly fucking done. Like, I actually really do dig it. It's the singing and the dancing that throws me off.
Yeah.
But fuck, they're good.
You know what movie's actually on there that's fantastic? My friend Justin told me about it. Was called Sing Street, and it's this Irish movie that's set in Ireland in the 80s.
Okay.
And it's about this guy who wants to have a band, and him auditioning people in the band and getting their look together. And it's actually a really kind of sweet movie. But it's like the music is good. The music is solid. It definitely feels like 80s, kind of throwback. I really like it.
Backdrop of the IRA and shit. That actually does sound all right.
Well, I don't think I think they were in South London, so that didn't really kind of play into it. Or not London, sorry, Southern Ireland.
All right.
That would actually have been made a little more interesting, maybe. Anyway, let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is I want to update a story we followed right from the very beginning. We all remember the Utah nurse that was arrested.
Yep.
Wrong for protecting her patients' rights. Well, she got a $500,000 settlement.
Good for her.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Good for her.
Yep. So Alex Bubbles, not only were you an Olympic hero to your people, you're also a hero for human rights. And now you're $500,000 richer. So good. Do they have to pay taxes on a settlement? They must.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure the Americans pay tax for any type of revenue.
Yeah. Kind of bullshit.
It sucks, but I mean, that's still, free money technically. I mean, fuck, I'll get harassed any day for $500,000. I don't give a shit. Like,
fuck, tell me about it.
Like, goddamn.
Falsely arrest me and let me get some money.
Fucking right.
Okay, and so here's our next update. As we all know, marijuana is going to be legal. Or sorry, I don't want to use a racist term. Cannabis will be legal in Canada in a few months. So Ontario, our province where we live, is starting to roll out some of the information about what's going to happen. So last week they said that people that illegally sell recreational marijuana could get fined up to $1 million if it's like a shop.
Yeah.
Right? And anybody caught, I guess like an individual caught distributing cannabis could face fines up to $250,000 and up to 2 years less a day in jail. That's pretty stiff fine. I mean, like normally if you're a drug dealer, you get maybe jail, but I don't think you usually get a big, huge $250,000 fine.
No, I don't think so either.
That's pretty big deal. So watch
sucks.
out, private drug dealing people.
Yeah, I'll have to warn my drug dealer now. Fuck.
Yeah, and people under the age of 19 who are caught growing or possessing weed can be fined up to $200. So just a ticket, which, seems in line. You get tickets if you're caught with alcohol sometimes as a minor. So, and then the other one, oh, what? Were you going to say something? Go ahead.
Is the fucking fine and jail time that harsh if I was found out to be a bootlegger? Like if I was making whiskey in my fucking bathtub, would I be facing that type of fucking
I
charge?
don't know. I think if you were making it, it would probably be harsher. But there's a lot of people that buy it and then do after the stores close and you kind of run it, or you buy it from up north and stuff.
Obviously, I understand the government wants to have a stranglehold on all marijuana revenue.
Right.
I really do, and I don't blame them. It's going to bring in billions of fucking dollars for the country. But it's kind of weird considering alcohol is legal. And I'm pretty sure if I made a shit ton of gin in my bathtub, I wouldn't go to jail for that long or have to pay that kind of fucking fine.
We'll have to do some research on that and find out, because I'd be interested. Because you can go and you can make your own wine. You can buy the kit to make your own wine or beer in your house. But I don't know. But you are allowed to grow 4 pot plants in your house too.
Yeah. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. They also released the first 14 cities that will get their pot shops. I'm going to call it the Cannabis Control Board of Ontario. I like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they are in the bigger cities: Barrie, Brampton, Hamilton, Kingston, Kitchener, London, Mississauga, Ottawa, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, Thunder Bay, Toronto, Vaughan, and Windsor. So I had hoped that there would be one that would go up. There used to be a beer store in my plaza by my work, and I thought that'd be a perfect place for it to go. But apparently a sign went up this weekend. It's going to be $1 power. Yeah. Stupid.
I mean, you need cheap treats after you fucking, you get stoned.
I guess. But it'd be interesting how far people, you need obviously more than one in Toronto.
Oh, there has to be. There has to be
more than one. You need at least 2 in Scarborough alone.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like east and west or north and south.
Right. Toronto is the 3rd biggest city in North America. Or 4th, maybe. I think it might be
3rd or 4th.
I think it might be New York, LA, Mexico City, then Toronto.
Oh yeah, because
Mexico City is really big. It's got a fairly large population, but that's cool. And again, I'm still kind of in disbelief over the whole thing. I don't see it going swimmingly the way that it keeps being portrayed in the news. I really don't. I don't see it going as easy as they're making it sound. Hopefully it does.
We'll see. It's going to be really, lineups on July 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
That should be interesting because the July 1st is a holiday, so it will not be open on July 1st. So July 2nd should be interesting to see what the lineups are like. Will they run out?
Yeah. Which is another big problem too when you think about it, considering it's being pushed as a medicine. And I don't mean pushed in the way of like it's fake or it's a hoax medicine. Like it does work for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But with stoner culture and the prevalence of recreational use, will the recreational users kind of buy up all the stock and leave people that need it medically out in the fucking the wind to dry? Or has the government set up procedures for that?
I'm just looking here. I was checking. So July 2nd will be a Monday. So most people will have to go to work, I would assume.
No. No, because if the 2nd's a Monday, that means the Mondays are holiday.
Oh, that's true. And also, that's the biggest vacation week of the year. People take that whole week off.
Yeah.
That they can incorporate the long weekend. Anyway, I mean, we'll have many more updates. There's still, 7... 8.5 months away.
Mm-hmm.
But I just find it interesting and just fascinating to see what's going to happen.
You know what I'm really excited for about this is the pot tourism that we're going to be able to have.
Oh.
It was one of the things I seen in Colorado when they first passed their legalization, and they're having these guided pot tours, and it's like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But now you can now have people coming from all around the world. Mm-hmm. Coming here specifically for the fact that we have legalized weed, kind of like Amsterdam.
Would be so smart if you're like a hotel or a bed and breakfast or something like that, and you kind of gear it towards people that are going to come here and do it, and you don't have to worry about walking the streets. Come in here. We've got a special room where you can smoke it, right? Then you can go back to your room and you can be safe, and we have munchies in there, and because maybe some people are afraid to try it for the first time, right?
But then that would go against all of our anti-smoking laws.
Well, you can have a room where it's like filtered out into another place, right? Kind of like the pot room down in the ventilated room where it all gets sucked out.
Because I was thinking that too. If that's the case, and we do, because I believe that's what we're going to go with heavy pot tourism, which I think is smart for the country. I really do.
Yeah.
But we'd have to change a lot of our anti-smoking laws.
Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to smoke it in public at this point in time.
Yeah.
Obviously. But you know what? People, already walk down the street freely smoking joints. I see that all the time, smell that all the time. I don't imagine that that's going to deter anybody just because it's legal and you're not allowed to do it anymore.
No. I mean, I do it, so
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing that. So anyway, that's our update. Like I said, we'll have a million more stories before that time comes. I want to talk about what happened in Saudi Arabia this weekend.
Okay.
So this weekend, Saudi Arabia arrested 11 princes. Now remember, we keep talking about their crown prince. I think he's Mohammed. Yeah, Mohammed bin Salman. Yeah. He arranged. So I didn't know this. I was reading a story. Apparently, back in April, they made it really hard for the religious police to start arresting people. Right, they could only do it during kind of like business hours, and they were ordered to be gentle. So apparently, like this movement started way back. Now he has arrested these people, including this really rich guy who has his fingers in all these American and European businesses, Prince Alwid bin Talal. But doing this kind of gives Prince Mohammed the three major kind of groups, the military groups that are there. He's controlling them now. Now he controls the military. He's got it on lockdown.
I mean, you kind of knew that he wasn't going to implement some of these more radical for his area of the world kind of policies without this type of shit.
He had to do it, right?
Yeah. I mean, so it's like, do we ignore the fact that maybe these people were imprisoned unjustly for the greater good, or are we going to get all butthurt over it?
Well, we'll see what happens. They've been arrested. They're being held in a very horrible prison, the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's horrible conditions.
Oh, yeah. the swimming pool, like the temperature's just not right.
Yeah, it's only like 54.
Yeah, you have to leave your empty dishes outside the door. They don't come in and take your fucking dirty dishes. It's hell.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, look, this guy's not perfect. He kind of agrees with a lot of things Donald Trump says and does, but I think it's because it's the business mind that he has more than a political thing. Yeah. But, no one's perfect, but he's doing a lot of things to update Saudi culture, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, hey, fuck.
Yeah, so I'll be updating this one. Every story that comes out about Saudi Arabia, I keep reading because I just really find it fascinating.
Well, I mean, again, it's about time. Yeah, I can't even say that it's about time because, I mean, shit was fairly cool there years ago. And then they went right down that fucking rabbit hole, So so it's very interesting to see how they're slowly clawing themselves back into the the 21st century with the rest of us.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm so excited. I don't know which one I want to talk about. I'm running out of stories very quickly. We'll have to talk about something else at the end. This story, laugh, but so we know that the Canadian government has made settlements with men falsely accused of being terrorists, or with what's his name? What's his name? What's the guy? The kid, the one that was the teenager.
Omar Khadr.
Khadr. I almost said Khadr, and I thought that's not his name. He got the $10 million settlement for
So did 3 other dudes not that long ago.
Yeah, so the 3 other guys were apparently called terrorists by Canada, even though they weren't, and they got tortured overseas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got this guy. His name is, sorry if I butcher this, Jamal Amazine. He's going to try to sue Canada for $50 million.
Fuck him.
He's not even a Canadian citizen. He never was at any point. He stayed here for 5 years, tried to get refugee status. He was denied. He went to Afghanistan. He's been to Pakistan. He's originally from Algeria. He was held at Guantanamo Bay. He was questioned by the Canadian government, but that's it. Now he's saying because they were complicit in his torture at Guantanamo Bay that he should get $50 million. Nope, fuck you.
Yeah, he can go fuck himself. See, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen after the fucking Khadr settlement. I knew it.
Yeah.
That people were going to start coming out of the woodworks claiming fucking whatever grievance they have and try to fuck the citizens over for fucking money.
Yeah.
$50 million? Go fuck yourself.
Well,
Seriously.
he's never gonna fly. He's not gonna get it.
And his reasoning, oh, well, I couldn't get a job because of the whole Guantanamo thing. I'm pretty sure in liberal ass fucking Canada, once you said, hey, I was arrested illegally as a terrorist and I'm not a terrorist, tons of people would have given you a fucking job, asshole. Go
But
fuck
he's not
yourself.
even in Canada. That's the thing.
You know?
He left Canada 15 years ago. He's not even currently living. I don't even know where he currently lives. Somewhere else right now.
And there has
Oh,
to
Algeria, I think.
there has to be a fucking statute of limitation on this fucking shit. Like, I'm sorry, there
Yeah.
has to be. Fuck out of here. $50 million fucking dollars.
Sue America for torturing you. Why would you know what? Like,
Yeah.
what's Canada supposed to do? Oh, sorry, America, you can't treat your Gitmo prisoners this way anymore. They're not going to listen to us.
But again, though, this is one of the issues I had with the Cotter settlement, because I knew that once we just kind of fucking like, all right, man, we can't win this fight, whatever, for whatever fucking reason, here's your money. Other assholes are going to try to get some fucking money. You know,
well, you know, I agree that Cotter deserved the money, but I definitely don't think this guy does 100%. But I don't think he's gonna get too far into this legal settlement.
It's just so. I mean, I don't want to get angry, but this fucking pisses me off. Like, this really fucking aggravates me.
Off. This is just some guy, and he literally did say that he heard about the settlement, and that's when he decided to do it. So
exactly. And that's the part that really fucking pisses me off, is like, now we're seen as like weak. We're seen as fucking weak people that like all we care about are people's human rights that aren't fucking Canadian. And then they're going to come here and bitch and moan for fucking money. Like, go fuck yourself. $50 million because you can't get a job and you think like in your fucking, I think he's in his 50s, late 40s, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what you need to get your life back together. Like, what the fuck do you plan on doing? Opening your own oil refinery? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Go fuck yourself.
What was he doing hanging out with these types that he got rounded up?
Right? Anyway. I mean, from what I've seen in the article, he went to Afghanistan. He fled to Pakistan once the fighting happened. All right, I can't really blame you on that.
Yeah.
And he got picked up during his flee to fucking Pakistan. Okay, yeah. So from those reports, you've done nothing wrong. Does not mean that any government owes you fucking money. You were in a place where fucking there were active fucking terrorists. You may have looked at like somebody that we were interested in. Sorry about your fucking luck, bud. But that's war. Like, that's war. You look like the people we were fighting. You look like the people that were killing us. We had to fucking pick your ass up.
Well, he must have been doing something a little bit shady or suspicious.
I don't believe any of it. I really fucking don't. I mean...
and they held him for that long. A lot of times when the people were arrested, very few... Well, I shouldn't say this because I don't know the factor. But, I mean, I can remember reading about people that were falsely imprisoned at Gitmo and then they were released back to their countries or wherever. You know?
Well, yeah, because once you're put under torture, and let's face it, the guy was fucking tortured. Like, there's no way they weren't going to torture his ass.
100%.
But I always kind of looked at it like, if you're giving them valid information, if you're under torture and you're giving them information that's actually leading to the arrest of other terrorists and shit like that, you were not innocent.
No, you know information.
You know? And, I mean, I don't want to open this can of worms again, but fuck it. That's how I felt with Cotter. Yeah, they put his ass under. He was tortured. He was tortured. Yeah. I can understand how most people feel like that's an infringement of his human rights. But the information he gave while under fucking torture led to the arrest of other terrorists, which to me says he's complicit in fucking terrorism.
But did it lead to? I never heard that it led to the arrest of other people.
Of course it did.
Okay, I never heard that.
Because they wouldn't have fucking kept him that long if it didn't.
Well, a lot of people were not given trials, right, for a long time.
Well, no, you're not owed a trial.
Well, because you don't have rights of
exactly.
Citizen.
You're fucking nationless at that point in time. Like you're not owed shit.
But I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way that even if you're a criminal, a terrorist, whatever, I do think that you should get your chance to a trial. I don't think that you should be held indiscriminately for however long. I think that's, especially from a country. Like, I mean, when you start doing that stuff, then we are becoming as bad as, these dictatorship countries or these terrorists that just hold people. I think you have to have a due process of some sort.
Well,
absolutely. I think that was part of the problem that really bothered me is that they kept a 15-year-old boy in a, torturing him and in a prison with, you know, grown men for so many years.
I get it. Like, look, I understand people's fucking, you know, why they believe Cotter deserved whatever he got. You know what I mean? I do. I honestly do get it. It's just I don't agree with it. I think the guy's a fucking terrorist. Just going off the Geneva Conventions alone, the fact that he made IEDs means that he's a fucking terrorist and deserves shit. Now, I understand that that's not who we are as a people anymore. That's just not how humanity looks at one another. We look at each other as innocent until proven guilty, where I kind of don't. Like, fuck you, you're guilty.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's just, for me, it's the same everywhere. You know, if the IRA made a comeback and I found out that fucking these Irish people were making bombs to kill people, you're a fucking terrorist, your rights are stripped, go fuck yourself. You made the decision. You know, even if you were indoctrinated by your fucking parents at a young age, I don't fucking care. You're a terrorist. I don't give a shit. You know, I have no beef with people that pick up arms for their nation in a true military style. I really don't. I mean, to me, that's what we do. But I don't look at people who just go to fight for religious ideology as soldiers. I don't. I mean, shit, the Knights fucking Templar made a fucking resurgence right now. I'd look at them as fucking terrorists. Flat out.
Well, what they did was a horrible thing.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, I would look at them as terrorists. If a bunch of fucking Buddhists decide to fucking pick up arms and go on a killing spree because, you know, Nirvana or whatever fucking bullshit the Buddhists preach, I'd look at them as fucking terrorists. Like, I don't. It's just, it fucking hurts me. It hurts me. And then now we have this shit. Where it's like, oh, well, you know, I suffered some bullshit. Give me $50 million. Like, what? No, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, like, it's ridiculous.
Go fuck yourself. Like, absolutely go fuck yourself.
Where did he come up with $50 million?
Well,
like, he wouldn't even have made 50,000 in his life living in a country like Algeria.
Fuck no. Unless this guy was planning on opening up a fucking oil rig or some shit. Yeah. Like, that's the only way I could see it. But, I mean, if you had the kind of money, like, if you had the capital to do that, I mean, what the fuck you begging for money for, bro? You should have money. Exactly. Nah, that's some bullshit. I hope we just laugh at this fucking idiot.
Well, this is what needs to happen. You know, it needs to be completely thrown out, and then that way it dissuades any other kind of future nut jobs from trying this.
But just wait. There will be someone who makes a fairly convincing argument on this man's behalf, and you're going to have a lot of people saying, oh, he deserves the money. We fucked up. He deserves the money.
No.
It'll happen. It'll fucking happen.
I'll agree with helping Canadian citizens, people that were, you know, but sorry, once you're not in my country, I don't care.
That's a slippery slope, Jacqueline. You're starting to sound like me.
No, because you heard me when I said to that guy's wife, the wife that, you know, is trying to get the money from Cotter. Sorry, like, your husband was the only time that ever happened in the world where someone was charged with the murder of a U.S. soldier.
Yeah.
During a fucking actual, you know, fight.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get money. What about all the other women soldiers or the soldiers' wives and husbands? Why aren't they trying to get money from, you know, Al Qaeda or the Taliban or whoever they fought?
I'm sure if they had an idea of the individual's name that did it, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
I really am. Like, I'm actually fairly confident in saying that.
I just don't think that's right. I think when you go to a war or in a military sense, right? And I hate to say it, I sound like stupid 45, but I mean, you know that there's a chance that you can die.
Absolutely.
Right? Everybody understands that 100%. You don't go into the military thinking I'm going to come back easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, right?
You're not fucking John Rambo.
No, exactly. So I just don't think that, I don't know. I think it's a real slippery slope if spouses start trying to sue.
Yes.
You know, what's to stop her from suing the U.S. government then? You let my husband get killed. Why didn't you protect him?
They did everything they could. They trained him for 6 months before they sent him over. They gave him a gun. You know what I mean? They put him with other highly trained soldiers. He died. Hoopty fucking ding dong. And
I mean, it's sad. I feel sad that she lost her husband, you know, but I don't think that you should be allowed. I mean, through no fault other than you were in the military and you were in a fight and you got killed. You know what I mean? I just don't think that spouses of the military should start suing individual people.
Oh, fuck no. Absolutely not. That's stupid. I mean, you know what you're getting into when you go to the military. You know, there's no denying it. There's no, oh shit, I didn't know we were in an active war. Yeah, you did, you stupid fuck.
Yeah. Are cops going to start suing freaking, people that shoot them? You can't. If a criminal shoots you, they go to jail. That's the punishment. You don't get to sue their families and stuff now for money.
No.
A fireman doesn't get to sue somebody if they get injured in a fire.
I mean, I think they should, in a sense, especially if that fire was started by something really fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, I agree. Or if it was arson, but
yeah,
that's your job. Your job is to go and stop fires. Unfortunately, it's a dangerous job.
Yeah,
you chose that job.
I mean, there's no arguing that.
Because obviously, the job.
Yeah,
it's not like I went to work as a cashier, and because my boss, did something stupid and a shelf fell on my head. That's a little different, right? I didn't expect a shelf to fall on my head at work, right?
I don't know. I mean, again, with my personal lack of trust with Prime Minister Centerfold, I feel like this guy is going to get a fucking settlement. Not 50 million. See. If he gets 50 million, like, someone's gonna lynch fucking Trudeau flat out.
Oh, there would be like rioting in the streets.
I'll say right now, if this guy gets any close to 50 million, Trudeau better stay the fuck anywhere fucking west of Ontario, just west of Toronto, pretty much, because they will fucking murder his ass.
Yeah,
I mean, from crazy. All the Westerners I talked to, that Cotter thing, fuck, were they mad.
Yeah, a lot of people were angry. I get why the people. I 100% same thing. You understood my position. Mm-hmm. I understand your position. It's just the same thing. I don't agree with it, right? So I get why the people out west were angry.
It's just $10 million. Like, fuck's sakes, fuck's sakes. Like,
but it could have been 20.
I mean, I don't even care. I would have rather it went to court.
Yeah,
I really would have. I'm not a fan of settlements. I'm not. Yeah. Like, I'm not a fan of settlements. Like, if you think you have a fucking case, you take that shit to fucking court. Yeah,
people rarely do.
I know. But no, this guy's an idiot. And, I mean, again, that's... Why is it that they're coming after us? Do you know what I mean? Like, if he was tortured along with the Canadians, the Americans were tortured him as well, why isn't he suing the American government?
That's my kind of point. He should be going after the American government if he was falsely imprisoned and falsely tortured.
And there's the other thing with the Cotter thing. I think that made us look weak. I think that made us look like a target for this kind of shit.
And it may well be that, right? And you also saw that the other 3 guys got their settlement. So he's like, oh, they're giving away money in Canada, right?
Exactly. They got 10 point some odd million each themselves. So, I mean, that's $40 million we've given away to fucking suspected terrorists, alleged fucking terrorists now.
Yeah.
It's...
Well, I think the 3 were 100% proven not.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not going to say Cotter because I know he admitted to guilt, which he said was under torture. But the other 3 were found to be not involved at all.
Yeah.
So a little bit different situation there. This guy, sorry, buddy, go pound salt.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Go play the fucking lottery like the rest of us.
Yeah, dream of that big lotto win.
Fuck's sakes.
Okay, so we have another story. Let's move on. This story just churns my stomach. We have a girl from the University of Hartford in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Her name is Brianna Brochu, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
She's 18 years old. She's been arrested. I'll tell you what the charges are after. She went on, was it Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or some fucking place. And she was basically bragging about how she got rid of her roommate. She didn't like her roommate. Her roommate is Chanel Rowe. This Brianna girl referred to her as Jamaican Barbie.
Yeah.
And this is what she said. This is the quote. After 1.5 months of spitting in her coconut oil, putting moldy clam dip in her lotions, rubbing used tampons on her backpack, putting her toothbrushes in place where the sun doesn't shine, and so much more, I can finally say goodbye to Jamaican Barbie.
How dumb are you to fucking put that on the internet?
How'd you get into university?
White privilege?
I guess. Jesus. Like, what an ignorant bitch. Yeah. You know what I mean? So what was her charges? Charged with criminal mischief, and she was also expelled from the school. So good.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you can't. That's fucking torture, essentially. Like, fuck off. Can't do that.
Yeah.
To a poor girl that's just there to go to school like you.
Yeah, because you didn't get along with her personality
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. It's ridiculous. Chanel Rose said that she moved out because she felt like she wasn't wanted in her own room.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in the process of moving out when other people started to tell her about these posts.
Yeah.
She said, she'd been having rashes and being very sick the whole time she was living there.
Huh.
Can you imagine? Like, what a disgusting bitch.
Yeah.
Especially the bloody tampons. Like, keep your AIDS to your own vagina, bitch.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's crossing a fucking line. I mean,
yeah,
you could have just fucking fist fought one another, and I'm pretty sure they would have broke you up.
If this little girl ends up in jail, she probably won't. White privilege will keep her out. But she ends up in any kind of jail. We know what the majority of people in jail are. They're not white.
Yeah. Well, it depends on where they send her ass. I mean, if they send her to some, low security fucking prison, I mean, chances are most of the prisoners there will be white.
True.
I just feel
criminal mischief. She's not going to get a big charge. Come on, she's going to get something.
With her calling the other girl Jamaican Barbie, I mean, at least I know here that would constitute a hate crime.
That's true.
Those words and your actions
clearly racially motivated.
Exactly, right? And this is the problem I have with the states. I admire their freedom of speech. I really do. I wish I had freedom of speech, not just freedom of self-expression. But you can say completely racially inflammatory things, commit a crime, and those things can't correlate with one another, right? Which to me, that's what makes it a hate crime. Now, if I'm out on the streets, like I can go outside right now and get into a physical altercation with any person of color, and that not be considered a hate crime. But if the police could go back and see me post about Mexican this or black person this, that would now constitute it as a hate crime. And I feel like that should be the case with this girl. I
think so too. And she specifically targeted her for that
reason, right? Making that a hate crime. But again, that's a slippery slope because that means they would have to amend their constitution. And I know how fervent they are about not touching that document, considering I think there's been 14 amendments on the fucking thing anyway, but whatever. Let's not fucking go there. No, it's a hate crime. That's absolutely disgusting. I mean, you could have just gotten into a fist fight and then the RAs and shit would have had to have separated you.
She could have put in for a transfer.
Or that. I don't know. Yeah, there definitely seems like so many better routes to go than this like sabotage fucking grossness. Like,
well, and I mean, like, the girl was literally sick. You're giving her like moldy clam dip. I mean, I don't know. You could have killed her if it was, intense enough fucking bacteria in there.
That or she had some kind of shellfish allergy or some shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's disgusting. And you're sticking your toothbrush in your butt or your vagina. You're disgusting.
Yeah, that's fucking gross. That's fucked up.
You're I mean, again, like an individual.
And I've said this before, but this is what happens when you shy people away from confrontation.
Yeah.
If this girl would have been raised or taught or whatever to just speak your fucking grievances.
Conflict resolution,
right?
Instead of being all like passive aggressive.
Real subversive and gross about it because you're scared. You're scared of I don't know what, like I don't want to speak for this girl, but I mean, to me, it's for most people, they're scared of being proven wrong. Not a lot of people like to put their arguments out there and just be completely fucking obliterated by logic. It definitely does hurt your feelings.
University is the place too, especially where you're supposed to grow up. You're supposed to meet new type of people. You're supposed to open your mind to new things. If you really didn't like this person, you could have sat down and been like, "We're never going to be friends. You're just not my type of person. Let's just try to live together until one of us can get a transfer."
Yeah, no, it's fair.
That's fucking grown up.
That's the logical fucking way of looking at it. But to be a little bit of a devil's advocate here, I mean, we don't know how this other girl was treating her, And,
absolutely.
And
I can see it. They probably didn't like each other completely.
Again, and I don't like talking bad about this movement or whatever, but the Black Lives Matter movement has spurred a lot of white hate. So again, I don't know what the fuck the inner dynamics were. I mean, I can't remember her name. I'm just going to call her Black Barbie. And if I get shit, whatever. Black Barbie could have been fucking, being very ignorant and racist towards this girl, and this could have been her only way of retaliation without facing the public backlash. I mean, now she's going to get the public backlash now anyway because she's stupid and posted her fucking ridiculous nonsense to fucking social media. Yeah. But I mean, like, there's always two sides to the story. Yeah, this girl's side of the story is absolutely fucking disgusting, but I don't know the inner workings, and I don't feel like, I don't know. It's just some hippie bullshit. Why can't we just get along?
Yeah, it's true. Well, I will say this. Chanel Rowe, that's Black Barbie.
Chanel, okay.
The school authorities had told her she spoke out about the situation. She could have been removed from her campus residence.
Yeah.
So apparently if she'd spoken out about the arguments. So maybe they were arguing or having some issues. Then she said that the race had been a factor in the school's response, speculating that if she were white and Miss Brochu were black, the investigation would have been more urgent. And I kind of, maybe it would have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, this black girl's attacking me.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, from what I've seen lately, coming from, I mean, obviously I'm not an American fucking college student, so every bit of information I get does come from the internet, people sharing their own stories. But I mean, that doesn't seem to be the trend. It really doesn't seem to be the trend that, especially on university campuses, that white people are just getting the benefit of the doubt anymore. They are facing a lot of fucking scrutiny and shit like that now. Which, hey, fuck, cool. I'm not one of these people that believe that all fucking white people are angels. I definitely know that's not the fucking case.
Whoever you are, whatever your race is, if you're doing something fucking disgusting or shady or illegal or gross or hazing or whatever it is,
you need to be called out.
You need to be punished.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, again, these stories are always hard to talk about because you never fucking actually know, and everything's always heavily on the victim side, which, hey, that's fine. I get that. I mean, we have to believe victims. We have to. If we don't believe victims, then nothing will ever get fucking done.
Well, and even if Chanel Rowe was a complete cunt, even if she walked in the room every day and said, "Hey, cracker, hope you die today,"
it doesn't deserve that type of response.
That's the difference.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with how this girl went about it. I not at all. Yeah. Like, don't think I'm making excuses for her.
Oh, I know
It's
exactly.
Just,
you don't agree with her.
But
you're right. The truth is in the middle somewhere. There's two sides, and the truth is always, somewhere in between.
And I just feel now with just how fucking fervent all this fucking shit is, like it is a real us versus them mentality in regards to everything. I find it so hard to just believe people's stories at face value anymore, which kind of sucks for me.
And it doesn't even have to be race related.
No,
it's
not at all.
It's like whatever someone's saying, like, and this is the horrible thing, like, we had a very terrible 3 transport truck accident last week in Toronto, or just north of Toronto, and the police are saying that it was caused by a truck driver who didn't slow down when there was an accident ahead of them. But all this weekend, I don't know if you saw it, somebody was sharing someone's post that said they had seen the accident. It was caused by somebody cutting off the truck.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
But kind of part of me was like, are you just saying this because, you know what I mean? Like, some people just go out there and they say things that aren't true for attention or for viralness. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so part of me believed it because I've seen people cut off trucks.
Yep.
But then I've also seen truck drivers drive like assholes.
Oh,
so it's like, I really didn't believe that person's post. And I kind of was like, why am I automatically not believing it? I don't know. Because they're like, oh, CTV Toronto doesn't want to listen to it. And OPP Barrie doesn't care. So I'm going to set this straight. Well, I'm pretty sure they would listen to your statement if you went in and talked to them.
Yeah, really, though.
So I don't know.
If you had information that would crack the fucking case, like, I'm pretty sure the cops would, they would heed your fucking information. But no,
but they're on. I mean, you gotta remember when there's a fatality, they're measuring and they're looking at dash cam video.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have cameras up on the highways up there. I'm sure they have at least intermittent cameras and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. It's true though. Like, it's just so hard to believe stuff now. You have to go through so much layers of like independent fucking research just to get to the bottom of like a simple fucking story.
Especially all these kind of posts that you get. Like, I mean, I see posts about everything. Like, oh, I was at the just say it was a no frills store like where I work, and they were just total assholes to me for no reason.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
And it's like, probably because you came in really like rude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or oh, I left money in the taxi and the taxi guy stole it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just so many all these different posts, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like people like to go on social media and lie.
Well,
look, we were just talking about it before the call. People love attention.
Oh yeah, they do. But there's the funny thing though, because if you can claim victimhood in any type of group, whether it be a person of color or gay or trans or religious group, then you get the masses of other victims in said group now land-basting this fucking person, the perpetrator, alleged perpetrators. You know what I mean? And the worst part is that within every one of those groups, you have one really intelligent person who can formulate an argument. And then it's, you know what I mean? Then it just snowballs from there. Yeah. And it's
like they pile on without checking to see if anything's true.
Exactly. Right? It sucks. I mean, I love to argue, and the internet has made arguments so much easier because now I can argue with anybody from fucking anywhere. But
about anything. I mean, it could be over anything. Be like, oh, you know, I prefer the color red roses.
Yeah.
And then there's a fight.
Right, and then boom. But then if your argument is against a visible group, you know, you're fucked. You are absolutely
because you're automatically a racist, a homophobe, an Islamophobe,
whatever the fuck,
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So it's, I mean, life's gotten a lot more interesting because of that, but at the same point, it fucking aggravates me beyond hell because no one cares about the truth. They only care about virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Right. They only care about saying, "Hey, look at me! Like I'm the gay guy that destroyed this homophobe." Well, not really. You just you know. You threw out some fucking buzzwords, or you know what I mean, and it's so true. And I mean, I can't say I know, but I feel like that's what's going to happen within regards to this story. That as much as that girl that did the shit is fucking disgusting and deserves everything that happens to her, I mean, she's going to get so vilified.
Yeah,
and not to say it's undeserved. You know, you did some gross shit.
Look. Certain things need to happen to her. You know, she does need to get punished. She needs to go on probation. I'm glad she got thrown out of university. Yeah. But here's the thing. Does this girl need to pay for it for the rest of her life?
She will.
You know, should she be unemployable for the rest of her life? That's a little different. Like she's still a teenager. Yes, she's technically an adult, right? But she's still, I mean, people are still dumbasses at the age of 45, let alone 19.
I'm nearly 30 and I'm still a fucking idiot.
You know? I think she deserves a criminal sentence, but I don't think that, you know, she needs to get death threats. I think she should be allowed to go in a field and face off with this girl and get her ass kicked.
Well, that's it. I mean, we got to bring back consensual fighting. Just you know, exactly. Go to the field, throw some punches at each other.
Nobody needs to die. You're not punching them till they die or kicking them in the ribs until they, you know, collapse a lung.
Yeah.
Just, you know, some hair pulling and some punching and, you know.
Yeah. Go out there, get your licks.
Get rid of their aggressions that way. I think a lot of life would be a little bit easier.
You know, it's a bit of a one-sided argument, but I've said this for a long time about the metal and punk rock community, and it's why, like, don't get me wrong, there is fucking crazy amounts of drug use in both these communities, which can stem violence.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we are very non-violent people because we have that outlet. We have that ability to go to a show, get in a mosh pit, take out most of our aggressions with like-minded people that are there for the same thing. We're not trying to hurt one another. We're just sitting there to expel that pent-up energy. You know, and it's true. And I suggested it to so many people, like so many people I've seen that you can really tell that there's a lot of anger in them. And, you know, they just got this rage. And I say, go to a metal show. Go out to a show, get in the pit, have a good time, see that it's not just a giant fist fight. You know, that they're, you know, we're just there to expel said energy, and you'd feel so much better.
Maybe you could make, instead of a concert, make like, you know how like they have like these gyms or a boxing place? You could make a gym where just people jump around in a mosh pit.
You probably could until, you know, one arsehole gets hurt and then, you know.
And then you get a lawsuit.
Exactly.
You could put them in a bubble wrap while they mosh pit around.
See, that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. It's true. Like, I'm not going to say that they're easy. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've gotten the shit stomped out of me a few times in them, But I mean, I don't know. It's true though. I feel like there's a lot of people, we don't have any more outlets to kind of get that aggression out to.
Well, and our outlets are now into like adult coloring books, and I'm not trying to diss adult coloring books. I like coloring still too.
Yeah.
But that's where you get your stress.
Yeah.
Your stress goes there. No, you gotta yell, scream, vent it. Throw something across the room because you're super duper angry and your kids are assholes.
Break something. Like, just go fucking. They had something like that in Toronto for a little while there, where you went and paid like $20 and they put you in a room with all this like glass. You just got to smash the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That was so cathartic. Like that would have been so good for you to just get that rage out and just
take a baseball bat and start pounding the shit out of a computer.
Yeah, that'd be fucking great, you know? You're sitting there working a shit fucking desk job and, all you want to do is smash your computer. Well, boom, there you go.
Absolutely.
But I mean, again, though, it's not to say, like, that my generation or your generation or even the generations before that didn't have this same type of shit. Obviously, with the advent of social media, it's just all in our fucking faces.
Magnetized, yeah.
Right? Like,
but we did. My generation, like, you fought after school. You know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying the widespreadness of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not like...
I'm glad there was no social media when I was a kid, because I was a fucking smart mouth asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I would have put a lot of, stupid shit on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, Facebook Facebook came out the year I was out of high school. So, like, luckily I didn't have to really deal with that shit, but I could only imagine, like...
Yeah.
But, I'll give it its props, Everything is now news to me. Like, I know, like, not everything, but if there's something going on in fucking Pakistan, I know about it.
Very few things get by you because of that, because you have all types of friends who are sharing different news sources and stuff. Yeah, it's true. Okay, well, let's talk about this next story. I just want to talk about it quickly because... in some places there's still arranged marriage. In a lot of places there's still arranged marriage. But with things like social media and movies and, people are getting different ideas. So you've got a family up in a fairly remote part of Pakistan. They made their daughter, Isia Bibi, she's 21 years old. She was forced into an arranged marriage. She didn't love her husband. She didn't want to marry him. She begged her parents not to do it. But, they thought that would help their family by, joining this other family. Well, her and her side piece have been arrested because they put rat poison in milk to kill her husband.
Yeah.
But apparently it was served to the entire family. And 27 members were hospitalized. 17 of them died.
Yeah. What a way to get out of a fucking marriage.
Yeah, you're probably going to be executed.
Oh, guaranteed. Like, that's not even a fucking question. Like, again, there's parts of the world where they don't play this human rights shit. They don't give a fuck about your human rights.
Nope.
And unfortunately, you done fucked up in one of those places where they don't give a fuck about your human rights.
Yeah, I don't know where they thought it was going to go, though, because even if she'd just gotten her husband to drink it, you're still going to get found out.
And that's the thing, right? Because I don't think honor killings cover a woman killing a husband.
Absolutely not. There's no honor for a woman.
Right? So...
Every time a girl tries to have a love match in some of these countries, she's just killed.
Exactly. So it's not like she could have used that as a defense. Oh, it was an honor killing. So I don't know. Yeah, no, you're done fucked. Like, you done fucked up. And it sucks, too, because, knowing how... unfortunately, like, barbaric they've went in the last 15, 20 years, it'll probably be a public stoning more than likely.
I'm sure it will be,
which that's not a way. I'm one for the death penalty. I really am. I've said this multiple times, but this shit has to be humane. It has to be quick. You can't be fucking out in the streets stoning people to death. That's some fucked up shit. Like, that's
what I find kind of, I don't know. I don't even know the word for it. They've got a picture of her and her boyfriend. Arrested, right? And she's got her face showing. She's wearing her veil.
Okay.
But her face is showing. But her boyfriend has his face covered. Why does he get anonymity and she does not?
Because he's the man, and he'll probably serve some jail time and be free eventually. It's a fucked up thing to say, and it's a fucked up thing to know, but it's true. Women aren't worth as much over there. You're not.
No.
You know, and I can understand if that's inflammatory speech or whatever, but I mean, it's the fucking truth. You're not worth
No
as
one's
much.
trying to be. We're not being racist when we say this.
No.
Like, this is the truth.
No, it's exactly.
This is known that women's rights are almost non-existent.
Exactly.
In some countries, and Pakistan is one of those countries.
Yeah, they fucking are. And again, it's not to sit here and, you know, I don't even think that I hate fucking Pakistanis. Again, I've never met one that I haven't liked. Yeah. I really haven't, you know. And growing up for the little bit that I did in Scarborough, I knew a lot. Like I had the pleasure of knowing a lot, you know. And they were all fucking swell people. Mm-hmm. But it's true. I can even remember being young in school and looking at how a lot of these boys treated our female teachers and shit like that. Yeah. You know, just like they were fucking absolute trash. They didn't have to listen to a word they said and shit. And I mean, and then you multiply that by a country and you understand mob mentality. Just really think about how these women are being fucking treated. You know, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And I mean, but to that point though, just because of that, I sympathize with that woman.
Yeah, I do sympathize with that.
Like, I really do.
Being forced to marry somebody you don't love.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're talking about, did we not just talk about how they ended child brides there?
Yeah.
Right? But you still can be forced into a marriage.
Right? Yeah. I just, it's weird to me that it's allowed. Like, through the international community that we allow this type of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it doesn't gel. It doesn't gel with this modern, like, social justice fight that we're putting up, you know what I mean? Yeah. Where everybody is valid and everybody is equal, but then we kind of ignore some of this shit.
Yeah, that happens in some of these, you know, these countries, and it's like there's no rights for children or women.
Yeah. You know, I always hear people say, oh, well, we have to fix our problems here before we can fix the problems abroad. Well, it's like, well, no, how about we get everything abroad to the level we're at, and maybe as a world we can fucking figure this shit out.
Start fixing the other shit. Look, no country's perfect, 100%. Canada is not perfect, but, you know, we're doing a lot better than some places.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, although there was that bullshit.
Remember, arranged marriages still happen here.
Yeah, I know. It's not cool.
Right? It's not cool.
And again, like what's an arranged marriage honestly say? It says, to me, all it's ever really said is you don't matter. The only thing that matters is furthering the family's name.
Yeah.
And for me, I've never really respected that kind of thought.
I was reading an article. This is talking about child brides and arranged marriage. These girls will go away during the summer break, during, you know, high school. Yeah. And they come back and they're married.
And they're married, yeah.
To a man much older.
Yeah.
It's weird. A girl in high school, I went to high school with. And we were pretty friendly all through high school. And I remember we were talking on the phone one day, and she said that her parents were arranged marriage. And I'm like, what? It was shocking to me because I knew that it had happened. This is the 80s still, right? I knew that it happened, but I never really thought about it being in Canada like that, right? Now, they weren't arranged in Canada. They moved here afterward. But still, I'm like, well, I was like, do they love each other? And she's like, yeah, they do, right? So they were one of the lucky people that actually ended up loving each other. A lot of times it's just like a brother-sister relationship.
But but that's it though. Growing to love one another and actual falling in love with somebody because, you know, it happened is completely different.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to try to take away from that person's parents, you know, love, but I wouldn't look at that as real love. I wouldn't. Yeah. Because you were forced into it. You were never given. You didn't
really have another option to love somebody else. Yeah,
exactly. Which is, you know, it's not right. I mean, we have free will. We have the right to do what we want, and I mean, that's got to be made a basic fucking human right. And I mean, the world over. It has to be. You can't stifle people and how they live their lives and who they want to be with and who they want to love. Exactly. Again, unless that shit is immoral and against the law. Like,
but what's interesting is her parents never arranged a marriage for her.
Yeah.
So it tells you something.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's. But I mean, again, though, like if you think that might have been the influence of the West.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
You know, like seeing that.
If she was in India or Pakistan, I can't remember which country she was from. If she was still in one of those countries, she probably would have had an arranged marriage.
Yeah. Like, and this is always kind of been my beef with marriage, and it's why I've said pretty much, you know, my entire adult life that I would never get married, is because of that. Marriage is an institution based off the ownership of human beings, right? It's based off of a man owning the woman. So I don't support that shit. I'm not in for fucking human ownership. Like, that shit doesn't fucking gel with me. And arranged marriages or dowries still being given out in other places in the world still shows that that's what this is about.
Yeah, purchase of a child to become a wife.
Exactly. I was watching on Vice not that long ago. I can't remember the country, so I'm not going to say one to sound ignorant, but, you know, where it's arranged marriages, but they're arranging them when the woman, I can't say woman, are still toddlers.
Yeah. And
they're arranging these marriages to, you know, fucking fully grown fucking men.
Yeah, you get to have her in like 12 to 13 years.
And just how odd is that to sit there and look at a child and then know that one day you're going to have to sexualize that child.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fucking cool. Like, that's not right.
I'm sure you never did. Did you ever read or see the Twilight movies?
Oh, fuck no.
That's one of the things. So in the book, the werewolves will imprint on somebody, and that's kind of like their soulmate.
Okay.
Right? And there was like one of the werewolves imprints on like a young girl. And he's like, oh, right now it's not anything sexual. He'll take good care of her until the time comes that they'll get married. No. And it's just like gross.
That's not right. Like, that's not cool.
That's weird.
I mean, again, you're taking away the choice. And again, we all have a right. We all have a right to fucking choose.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I'll never, like, that's not something I will ever fucking agree with. I will never see the silver lining. And I've tried, you know, like when we were just first discussing me coming on and doing the show with you guys, and I said, yeah, I can play devil's advocate. I can always look at shit from the other side.
Yeah.
I can't with this. Like, this is
there's
one
certain
of those
things that you can't do.
Right. This is one of the ones where I'm just like, no, there's no fucking silver lining to this. This just proves that women are fucking property to these fucking people, because it's never the boys. You know what I mean? The boys are never forced into an arranged marriage.
No, unless you're like from like a military, or not military, a royal family back in the old days. Yeah, exactly. The guy chooses.
And it's not
ridiculous.
To me, it's not even just that. It's the stigma around it even. When the arranged marriages happen, they don't look for the most beautiful man. You know what I mean? But from the male's parents' perspective, they want a gorgeous fucking, you know, like, it's...
She has to be super rich if she's not beautiful.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And, I mean, again, it sounds like I'm crapping all over someone's culture, and I guess I am. But go fuck yourself. Your culture is backwoods.
Well, I mean, you can have an opinion about a culture. It doesn't mean we think they're horrible people and need to be murdered or wiped off the face of the earth.
No,
I'm sure in some places there's someone sitting in India or Pakistan saying, you know, oh, they're too free with their sexuality, or they're too, you know, they don't treat their children strictly. You know, who knows?
Yeah, this is kind of sidetracked, but I had this thought. And just because you brought up, you know, how people in the Middle East and the Arabic world, even in the, you know, the Southern Asian world, think that we're over-sexualized. And that is a huge argument for them.
Yeah.
I can't remember even what got me thinking about it. I think it was the guy in New York, the attacker in New York, you know, and how, right, when you martyr yourself in the name of Allah, you get 72 virgins.
Yeah.
How sexualized is that religion?
And it has to be virgins.
Right.
Like, that's the fucking best thing in the world. It's just the first, nobody ever got in that little, you know.
So I hear this a lot, you know, when they were talking here in Toronto about our new sex ed curriculum, and you know, the Muslim population here was very, very upset by it, because they don't want their kids learning about sex and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But I keep thinking, like, you have probably one of the most over-sexualized religions I've ever heard of. Again, if I martyr myself, I get 72 virgins.
I haven't read the Quran, but from what I hear people that talk about the Quran, you know, they talk about Muhammad taking a child bride.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, what was the other thing? The veils and all that.
Yeah.
Stating that if I even see a woman's cheeks, I'm going to be driven into such a lust-filled rage that I'm going to rape this woman.
Yeah.
But yet we're over sexualized because women have the right to wear bikinis on the beach.
Even the Bible, if you think about some of these fundamentalists,
Yeah.
I mean, the Song of Solomon is pretty sexy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was just a random thought I had the other day.
It's true though.
And I don't know how to feel about it. Like I don't. Like I'm still kind of conflicted on where I kind of stand with it.
Yeah.
But it really kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, 120 years ago, to see a woman's ankle in Victorian times was very scandalous. So, they'll come around eventually.
I mean, hopefully, one can hope. I mean, I hope the rest of the world does join in the freedom that we do have. I mean, again, now to be fair,
to quote George Michael, "Sex is natural, sex is good."
But there it is, though. All the people that sit there and preach, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, fuck, I can't even think of it. Yeah, modesty. Perfect. The people that are preaching modesty also come from these over-sexualized cultures. You know what I mean? Like, so it's.
Well, in India, I mean, I know they're not the most sexually repressed country, but there's a lot of segments of that culture that is. But I mean, the freaking Kama Sutra came from there, and that's some freaky shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like they taught the world about the stand-up 69, but yet now they're preaching all this other shit, and it's like, well, come on, boys, like let's get back to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, a bit of sidetrack, but it was a weird thought I had the other day, and I still I was talking to Liz about it, and I still don't know exactly how to formulate this argument. Like, it's just hard because again, I don't want to come off as insensitive. I'm trying to better myself in that sense of rather than just spouting off and dealing with the bullshit later. But yeah, I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way, and this arranged marriage thing kind of falls into the same kind of parameters of it.
Yeah.
Where it's again, you sit here and you chirp the West about having nude beaches or chicks in thong bikinis or whatever the fuck it is, because again, it's always against women. It's always against the women. It's never the men. But yet, I can't remember the last time I heard of somebody in like Sacramento getting fucking gang raped to death on a bus.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, to death. That's the horrible thing.
Yeah, to death.
To death.
To death. Like, I don't know. It's fucked up.
Anyway, speaking of fucked up, I want to talk about this really quickly, and then it'll be our last. Actually, I will say it quickly because this is from BuzzFeed. Russian lawyers are suing, or let me read it here. A Russian tech executive are asking federal judge to force BuzzFeed to reveal its source for unverified dossier about Donald Trump because they're saying that BuzzFeed isn't a real news organization. Well, duh.
Ding.
Okay. But I'm using BuzzFeed as my source for this next story. So, really quickly, Sean Combs, we all know him as Puff Daddy or P. Diddy or all these names. He's changing his name again.
Yep.
He's now going to be Brother Love.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But I remember back in the 80s, there was a wrestler named Brother Love. He was like an ultra-religious weird guy. Do you remember him?
No, I can't say I really do.
Oh. So whenever I see Brother Love, I'm going to think of that weird wrestling guy.
I mean, you got to watch out here in Canada, though, because I'm pretty sure if we call him Puff Daddy since he doesn't want to anymore, that goes against that Bill C-16, and you could be fucking criminalized for it.
Oh, good Lord.
It's not what he identifies as.
Talk about this guy, to be honest. Yeah. He also says he's not going to answer to the name Sean or to Diddy or to Puffy or any of those previous ones. Just Brother or Brother Love.
Oh, my God. I wish I had that arrogance. Like, I wish I had the ability to just be like, nope, this is who I am now. Change my name. Fuck you. Call me this.
You can. It just doesn't mean people probably won't listen to you.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Like, I know I can. I just don't have the balls, I guess, to fucking do it.
What would you change your name to?
I don't know. I have to be something completely fucking ridiculous. Like, something that would, A, piss a lot of people off, and B, piss even more people off. Like, I changed my name to the N-word.
That would be pretty controversial. I was thinking like Sir, like, Beyonce's kid, Sir.
Oh, goddamn.
Sir Tom's.
No.
Oh, I said your last name, sorry.
No, whatever. I don't give a shit.
It's not a secret.
Yeah, fucking.
That used to be my last name, too.
8 mail away, motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck.
It'll actually probably entertain him.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, so that's the end of the show. Anything else you want to say before we?
Yeah, fuck Puff Daddy. I'll call you Puff Daddy forever, bitch. Fuck you.
He's so irrelevant. Like, what was his last hit? I don't even like him.
His last hit was when he fucking paid that guy to kill Biggie. Oh, shit.
Oh,
shots fucking fired, Puff Daddy. Fuck you. Come at me.
Have a good week. We'll see you on our show on Wednesday. Hopefully Ryan will be able to make it. Have a good day, guys.
Take care.